Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D, and today's video we're going to do a pickup. Now, I've been away for a while, haven't uploaded any videos in months. It's been probably about 6 months since you guys last got a video. I've been busy. I'm back. I got a big pickup for you guys. This is just some stuff that I've been picking up over the last couple months. Really, over the summer I collect, but over the summer I just be doing so many things. Watching movies is not really big. I'm more of a wintertime collector when I'm at home more, and I watch more movies, but that's neither here nor there. I'm back with a video for you guys. We got a lot of titles to look at. I picked up quite a few interesting things. We only got about 5 DVDs and the rest are Blu-rays. We got over 30 titles in all to look at. We got a couple of sets. We got some animated stuff. I got some stuff here that's going to replace a few things that I had in my collection on DVD that I found the Blu-rays for cheap. I'll let you know what those are. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at this. First up, we're going to knock out the DVDs first. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Some of these movies are movies that I really wanted in my collection for a long time, and I was able to take my time and track them down. There's still a couple of movies that I really want that I'm looking at. I'm seeing if I can get better prices, but I got these for a decent price, and some of these are brand new. So we're going to dive in and take a look at it. Starting with the first one, I'm very proud to have this in my collection. I could have got it on Blu-ray, but it was just double the price. And for this type of movie, the DVD, I'm quite sure is going to be really good quality. It's brand new. I haven't watched it yet, but I got a copy of DC Cab. I'm trying to hold it this way because I got the light right above me. I know the glare. I'm trying to angle it so you can see the cover art. So this is DC Cab with Mr. T, Gary Busey. This is one of Gary Busey's first movies. Who else is in here of note? Irene Carroll is in here. Quite a few good actors from the day is in here. I do believe this came out in 1983. I do believe it could have been a little bit later, but I know this is Mr. T right around his A-team time. So I definitely the 80s for sure. I'm not sure if this was 83, but it could have been. I know. Let's take a look and see if we can find it real quick. This movie came out in... It doesn't really say, but I'm going to say this movie came out between 83 and 85. That's what I'm going to say. So this is DC Cab with Mr. T. This is an hilarious movie. I remember seeing this movie as a kid. I was a kid when this movie came out. I mean, a little kid. Out in preteen. So, a long time. The marching band at the end is excellent. This is a really good movie. If you can find this anywhere, I don't think you're going to find this on any of the streaming services. But if you can find a copy of this movie, I suggest looking on eBay, because I found this on eBay, but also Best Buy got it on Blu-ray. It's like almost 20 bucks on Blu-ray. And I think that's a fair price, but I found this on eBay for like 8 bucks. And it's new sealed. And it's on DVD, and that's totally fine. So again, this is DC Cab. I highly recommend this movie. I don't think a lot of you heard of this. Some of you probably heard of it, but it's a really old Mr. T movie. It's really good. If you're familiar with Gary Busey, we're going to do another movie from Gary Busey in this particular pickup. He didn't do a lot of stuff, but he did some decent stuff. He did a movie called Eye of the Tiger. That was one of it. He was also the bad guy in Lethal Weapon 2, I want to say. In one of the Lethal Weapons. It could have been 2, maybe 1 or 2. I'm not sure which one, but he was the bad guy in one of those. He was also one of the bad guys in the Steven Seagal movie Under Siege. He played opposite of Tommy Lee Jones. Not opposite, but they was kind of in the same crew. They took over that Air Force and Naval carrier. But again, DC Cab. Check this one out, guys. Next up is a movie that I really wanted. Now, this is available on streaming services, but I wanted it in my collection, and I didn't really care if it was on Blu-ray or DVD. And that's Wes Craven's Shocker. This movie this is like Dr. Giggles. It's not really a stellar horror movie. It's just a really good horror movie for the time. It's right up there with like Dr. Giggles, Pumpkinhead. If you look watching this movie now, it looks really cheesy. It's like the first Nightmare on Elm Street. You look at it now and it's like a little bit on the cheesy side, but it's a good movie and I want it in my collection. I really enjoy a lot of Wes Craven's work. R.I.P. to Wes Craven. But This movie is good. It's a good movie. You just got to watch it and understand when it was put out. But it's a really good movie. Again, Wes Craven's Shocker. I'm going to come back and review this one at a later date. Here's one that I had on VHS. I had this on VHS years ago, and I just never really got around to getting it again. This movie is fantastic. Now, this is a remake. I'm actually going to get the original. And this is Cape Fear. Nick Nolte, Robert De Niro. I mean, let's see who else is in here. Yeah, so those are the two standouts. Jessica Lange is in here, but the two standouts really, you got Nick Nolte and Robert De Niro. And man, this is a really good remake. Now, the original, I saw the original, but I don't have the original. This is a really good remake to an original. A lot of times remakes or remasters, whatever you want to call them, they get butchered. This is a really good remake. If you have not seen Cape Fear and you are a De Niro fan or a Nick Nolte fan, you need to check this one out. This is edge of your seat. This is an edge of your seat type of thriller. A really good thriller. De Niro is De Niro. Here's one that, now this one, and now the last three were new sealed. This one isn't new sealed, but this is still good. This is The Glass House. Now, I had this movie again. This is another one I had back in the day. I had this one on VHS. When I got rid of my VHS collection, I didn't even bother to replace everything, but I actually gave my VHS. I think I gave all my VHSs away. I didn't even sell them. I just gave them away. But this was a movie that I had on VHS. This was a pretty decent movie. It wasn't great. It was okay, and I just saw it. I was breezing through eBay looking for different things, and I saw it really cheap. It was part of a deal. They had this on sale, and it was like buy two, get one for free or something like that. So I just picked it up. It's okay. It's called The Glass House. If you looking for a decent thriller and you just looking for something, this is a good popcorn movie to throw in a DVD player and just let it spin. Now, here's one. Here's a DVD. Now, this is a good thriller, and it's got my boy in it, so let's go ahead and dive in. We got Pacific Heights with Michael Keaton. This movie right here. Now, this is one, again, this is another one that I had on VHS way back. This movie is all that. I can't give you too much of this one because I don't want to just leak it out, but Keaton crazy as hell in this one. He moves into... These two, they newlyweds, and they just bought this apartment building as an investment property to set their future up. And I don't know if are they newlyweds? Or I think they might be boyfriend and girlfriend or newlyweds, one or the other, but they got this investment property. He's good at stealing people's properties. It's the way he go about basically getting these people. Oh, man, you guys see this one. This is good. Michael Keaton is the man in this movie. Just like a lot of Michael Keaton work from the time. Clean and Sober, One Good Cop, Batman Returns. I mean, this is Michael Keaton at his best. You're going to love this one. It's called Pacific Heights. So that's the DVDs. So now we're going to move into the Blu-rays. A lot of this is going to be from like eBay and Best Buy. Really, all this is like eBay and Best Buy. I haven't been to Goodies in a while. I got to get down there. I haven't been to Games and DVD Exchange in a while. I got to get there. But this is just stuff I've been picking up online in my spare time because I really haven't had time to really go to the mom and pop stores, but I'm going to make the time because work for me is actually slowing down right now, so I got a little bit of time on my hand where I can make it back into my mom and pop stores. So without further ado, continuing with the eBay trend, I picked up all three of the Iron Man movies. Now, I got Iron Man, I got the first one on DVD, and that's going into my take to my mom and pop store crate that I got. I got a crate full of DVDs and Blu-rays that I've either upgraded to 4K, had duplicates or whatever. So that'll go in my crate. And I just decided to go ahead and pick all three of them up at the same time. I did not have 2 and 3 in my collection. So I picked up Iron Man 1 on Blu-ray, Iron Man 2, and Iron Man 3. Now, out of all three of these, I would say I like the first one the best. It's the highest rated. It's the best one in my opinion. I didn't care too much for 2. 3 was okay. A lot of action, a lot of great effects. I didn't like the Mandarin. I didn't like the guy who played the Mandarin. I didn't like what they did to the Mandarin in this movie, but the movie itself was okay. I just didn't care too much for the Mandarin. That character is way more powerful than this, and I just didn't like what they did with the character. Iron Man 2, Mickey Rourke, I don't know about him. I really haven't seen him in anything that just blew my socks off. The Wrestler was okay, but other than that, I'm not a Mickey Rourke fan. So, yeah. This one is definitely legendary. So that's an eBay pickup, and that's all 3 of the Iron Man movies. Next up, I had to do it, guys. Now, listen. Don't listen to the haters. This was good. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say this was the best in the Fast series. Definitely not the best. Not the worst either. This was okay. Actually, this was good. It wasn't the best one. Don't listen to the haters tell you that this movie was trash. It was not trash. Now, looking at some of the reviews for it, it is the lowest rated out of the F series, which is called the F series from now on. I don't think it's the worst. Now, the worst one in the whole F series for me, I'm going to have to go with Hobbs and Shaw. I didn't care too much for that one. And to be honest with you, I didn't care for Fast 8 either. I didn't care for the 8th installment either. Now, a lot of people didn't like Tokyo Drift. I thought Tokyo Drift was good. For what it was pretty good. It was more of a side quest. Think of a role-playing game. Tokyo Drift was a side quest, and it kind of explained itself well throughout the series why that movie had to be that way. It was good. But this movie was pretty good, so I picked up F9. This completes my collection until the next one come out. Now, this is a replacement for what I had on DVD. This replaces a DVD. I found this at Best Buy. I skipped right over Blu-ray and went straight to get the 4K for Total Recall. The original Total Recall. I love this movie. This is definitely, to me, one of the best Schwarzenegger movies in his filmography. This is one of his best. I love Total Recall. I love the story. I love the effects. And to have this on 4K, that's definitely a worthy come up. And this was a pretty good price. This was actually cheaper than the Blu-ray version at the time. It was on sale. Here's one that I needed to complete my Marvel collection. I think I got everything I need right now. I think I got I think I got one more in here, but I needed this to complete my Marvel collection. This is a used copy of Ant-Man and Wasp. You can tell it's used. It's got some little funky right in there, which is totally fine. It was very reasonably priced. I didn't want to pay a lot of money for this movie because the Ant-Man and Wasp movies, it was okay. They wasn't the best in that MCU, but they're not too bad. So this was a good movie and a worthy pickup. I needed this to complete my Star Wars collection. And this is all that I needed. This is Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. This was okay. The critics panned this one too. I'm one to watch it for myself. And this was a pretty good movie. All 3 of the newer ones, all 3 of them, in my opinion, were just okay. Me personally, I like Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was excellent. But that got panned by the critics. Solo was okay. That got panned by the critics. It's like, anything that came after the 3 original Star Wars movies got panned by the critics. You saw the way they dogged the hell out of Phantom Menace, and I thought Phantom Menace was okay. It was a good introduction of Anakin Skywalker. I didn't have an issue with it. Now here's a movie right here that is trash. I'm mad that I bought it, but I like the Saw franchise so much. Anything that's from the book of Saw, I'm probably going to pick up. And I didn't see this in theater because this came out during Rona, so we still are during Rona, but when Rona was really bad, everything was shut down. Spiral. This is not a good movie. It is not a good movie. I can't make no kind of excuses for this movie. It's just not good. I actually bought this new, but again, you guys know me. I bought it on sale. I would not recommend you buy this unless you see it in the bargain bin. Or you just want to complete the series. Because it is a Saw movie. It's not related to Jigsaw in any way, but if you just want it for the sake of completion, it wasn't a good movie at all. Now here's another one I needed to complete. This is Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 2. I have Volume 1 obviously. So right now my MCU collection is pretty caught up. We're having this and the Ant-Man and Wasp. I was for a while there I was looking for Doctor Strange, but I was able to get that about a year ago on 4K, so we're good to go on the MCU movies. Awesome pickup. I was glad I was able to find this for a really good price. What was holding me back from getting this was the price. This stayed over the $20 mark for forever. It just now started getting to the point where you can get this for around the $10 mark, used. Here's one that I really, really, really enjoy, okay? I saw this on HBO Max. This is definitely available on streaming. The first movie was really good, and this one was really good too. And that's rare to have a sequel be just as good as the original. Oh, I'm sorry for that. I hit my table, guys. The camera's a little wobbly right now, what I got it on, so work with me. We getting everything back. This is A Quiet Place 2. Phenomenal. It picks up right after the first one. It even gives a recap of the first one, and it just gets right into it, gets right into the nitty-gritty of it all. This movie is phenomenal. If you enjoyed the first one, you're going to love this one. I highly recommend A Quiet Place 2. I didn't waste no time. I actually grabbed this full price, and that's not like me. I only got, out of all of my movies, I got almost 1,600 of them. I can honestly say I probably paid full price out of 1,600 movies. Maybe 400 I paid full price for. Maybe. This replaces a DVD. This is 30 Days of Night. I think I went over this movie before, but this just replaces a DVD. I saw it for it was $4.99 at Best Buy. It was in the bargain bin, so I grabbed it to replace the DVD version of it. This was a good movie. They do have a second one. I have that. I showed that on the channel also. I have that on DVD, so on Blu-ray. So I wanted this one on Blu-ray too, and it was $5. So I'll go ahead and take the DVD and put it in my crate. 30 Days a Night. This is a really good movie. If you haven't seen this one, you need to check this out. This is much better than the second one that came out. This is a really good movie. And they really didn't have to do the second one because it really wasn't that good. Here's one that threw me off guard. This one is called Escape Room. This was really good. This reminds me of Hunger Games / I don't know. It's a good movie. They actually have part 2 out. It's called Escape Room Champions, the new one. I'm going to grab that when I can find it cheaper. Right now, it's still $23. I'm not paying that. I wouldn't have paid that for this one. This was a good movie. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. This was a really good movie. I highly recommend. Oh, I know what it reminds you of. So this reminds you of a little bit of Hunger Games / Hostel. If you're familiar with the 2 Hostel movies. Ooh. Next up is a good one. Now, this is a classic movie that I wanted in my collection to complete my demonic cars movie. And we're going to do a video on, I got a couple movies with this centered around demonic cars. I think I got 3 or 4. It's not that many demonic car movies that are good. I think there's this one, Christine, and The Wraith. Even though the car itself isn't demonic, it's the driver that makes the car demonic. But still, you got The Wraith, you got Christine, and you got this guy right here. So without further ado, let's dive in and voila. Oh, Duel. That's like a demonic truck. I don't know if there's a person driving that truck. You never see it, so we don't know. But anyway, Car. The Car. This is a classic movie right here. Look at that. You see the back art. That car is, I don't even know what kind of car that was. I think it was made just for the movie. But this movie, this car, I'm trying to get a good angle because, again, I got my light above me. This movie is brand new, sealed. I grabbed this from eBay for a wonderful price. I didn't have this in my collection at no point, and I said if I ever saw this for a good price, I would definitely add it. I saw it, and I added it right away. This is The Car. This is a really good movie. You need to check this one out. Seriously. Now, this is an old movie from back in the 70s or 80s, but it aged well for what it is. Some of those movies from back then didn't age well. This movie aged okay. Now, you guys who go back on the channel a while, you guys know that I had actually picked up, I ordered from Second Spin before they went out of business, a copy of Dragnet. But they didn't send me the movie. They sent me 3 episodes on a DVD, which was fine. I kept it, but I guess, I don't know. They mispicked the order, but it was fine. I didn't want to send it back. And I always wanted Dragnet with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd, and I got it on Blu-ray instead of DVD. I was going to settle for DVD. That's fine. I just wanted it. I was able to get this for a wonderful price off of eBay. In fact, from the same seller, I got these 2 and 1 more. It was a buy 3, get 1 free. Phenomenal. And the prices was pretty good. I think I bought 6 titles off of that guy. I got the DC cab from him. I got the I got the first 3 DVDs from him, and I got these from him. The Car, this, and the next movie I'm going to show you. So we got Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks in Dragnet. This is a classic right here. I always wanted this one in my collection. It's not super hard to find, but it's hard to find for a good price. When you're collecting, you collect a lot of movies. You try to get them for decent prices because you don't want to spend a lot of money on your movies if you buy a lot. So Dragnet, fantastic movie. You need to check this one out. Again, some of these movies are not available on streaming services. That's why it's important for these old throwback movies. You want to have them on your stream. You want to have them in your collection so you can watch them whenever you want. I'm not against streaming services. I got them all. I got Paramount Plus. I got HBO Max. I got Amazon Video. I got Netflix. I got Hulu. I got them all. I'm not against them. But a lot of stuff that I have in my collection, it's not available on streaming services all the time. So I like to still collect physical media so I can watch whatever I want to watch whenever I want to watch it. Next up. Y'all ready? This is Gary Busey, Eye of the Tiger. Now, again, this is a movie from way back in the day. You may not remember this one. Gary Busey is I want to say he's like a retired military guy. He comes home. He went to prison. He was in the military. Something happened. He went to prison. And he came home, and it was a reckless gang terrorizing the town he lived in. His wife ended up getting killed. He gets messed up. He comes back for revenge. Oh, man, it's good. For what it is, it's a cheesy movie from way back in the day. But you got to check this one out. It's called Eye of the Tiger with Gary Busey. And I do believe this is one of the few movies where Gary Busey was the lead. He's a good supporting actor for back in that day. But this is one of the few movies where he was actually the lead. I think this might have been like his first breakout performance as a lead actor. And I don't think he had many opportunities to lead. But this one is really good. Eye of the Tiger. Check this one out. You will not find this on any streaming service. You could now, but when I was looking, you couldn't find it. So, Eye of the Tiger. Check it out. Here's one that's not that old. It's definitely all over the place. You can watch this any way you want to watch it at this point. But Ford versus Ferrari. Now, I know I didn't watch this movie yet. I got it, and I wanted to see it when it first came out in the theater. I was actually going to go to the movies to see this, but I forgot what happened. But I'm going to be checking this one out between today and tomorrow. This is Ford versus Ferrari. So you got Matt Damon and Christian Bale. It's basically the story. It's It's Carroll Shelby's story, basically. So yeah, Ford versus Ferrari. Okay, we got next we're going into some animated stuff. We have a couple of animated items. Before we do that, I'm going to save the animated stuff for last. We got animated stuff, and then I have like trilogy packs. Okay, so we're going to do those. I got 3 more single movies to show y'all. Then we're going to do the trilogy packs, and then we're going to do the animateds, and then we're done. Then we'll recap everything. Okay, next up is Parasite. Yo, listen. And this is on 4K. Got it this was like $13 at Best Buy. Listen, when I tell you this movie was a banger, now I remember when this movie was getting all these awards, I'm like, what is this? I never heard of it. And it kept getting all these awards. I'm like, I kept hearing about it. Parasite, Parasite, Parasite. I'm thinking it was about a parasitic being. No, this family, yo, they is straight up parasites. The way they live, what they do. This movie is off the chart. Yo, listen, if you have not seen Parasite, now this is available on streaming services. From what I understand, you can get this on, the first time me and my wife saw it, we saw it on a streaming service. Yo, this movie is incredible. It really, now we saw it, I don't think this is an English dub. I don't know, it might be on this. I don't think the one we saw it was subtitled, but it was really good. I mean, and I think the subtitles, is the fact that it wasn't in English, made it better. Yo, listen, if you are in a position to sit down and watch this movie, yo, you got to check this one out. Because the name Parasite will have you thinking, okay, in the picture here, and have you thinking they're under the control of a parasite. Yo, they not. They are the parasites. You got to check this one out, dog. Straight up. Now, the next 2 are cheap movies that I got out of the bargain bin. These are movies that I probably wouldn't have made a stink out of getting, but since I saw them and they're not in my collection, they are good movies. I decided to go ahead and add these to my collection. First one up is Clint Eastwood's Absolute Power with Gene Hackman. You know I'm a Hackman fan, so I had to have it. It's basically, basically when you think about this movie, if you never saw this, and say you saw Murder at 1600 with Wesley Snipes, it'll put you up there. These two movies kind of work on the same line. So think about Absolute Power the same way you would think about Murder at 1600. Really good movie. Last but not least, here's a cornball cheese movie. Well, let me take that back. It's not a cornball cheese movie. It's actually a pretty good movie. The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner. Now, I actually went to the theater to see this many, many moons ago when this movie first came out, and I thought it was okay. And I actually think it's a pretty good movie. I'm not gonna say it was underrated. This movie made all kinds of money. The soundtrack made all kinds of money. So this is definitely not an underrated movie. This is a good movie to have in your collection if you don't have it. I can't really say a lot because everybody knows about this movie. It's a damn good movie. I think they tried to remake this, or they're gonna remake this. I hope they don't mess it up. Now, we're gonna move on to like the trilogy packs. It's only two. One's a trilogy pack, one's a quad pack. This replaces my Robocop collection. I got all three on DVD. This is gonna go into my crate to turn into my mom and pop store. So this is Robocop. This is all three original Robocop movies. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And Robocop is a series that's near and dear to my heart. And you can pick this up almost everywhere for $10. All three of them on Blu-ray. That's a good deal. So all three on Blu-ray, $10. I got this from Walmart, I do believe. So this will go in with, I got the new one, the Robocop, I think it was 2014. And that one was okay. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't like these, but it was okay. So that's the Robocop Trilogy. Next up, now here's one that this series been out for years before I was even hip to it. I would see it and I'd just be like, nah, get out of here. The name of it threw me off. I thought it was something totally different than what it is. I'm thinking it's IP Man, like in Internet Protocol. I thought it was like, is it Internet Protocol or Internet Provision? One of those. I'm thinking it has something to do with technology and kung fu artists and computers. I didn't know what to make of it. Not knowing it was Ip Man, a real guy. This is Ip Man. Ip Man was one of Bruce Lee's teachers, probably the teacher of Bruce Lee. And it goes into it. Now, I'm going to show you guys real quick. It's open. It's not open. It's sealed. So what we got here, we got Ip Man 1, Ip Man 2, Ip Man 3, Ip Man 4. Yo, listen, let me tell you. I actually got hip to this on Netflix one day. I was breezing through Netflix. Let me put this down real quick. So I was breezing through Netflix one day, and I was looking for something to watch. And I said, let me throw this on. I keep seeing these. I kept seeing 1. I kept seeing 2. I kept all these different. I said, wow, this is a long series. It's got to be something to this. So I put the first one on. I said, let me just start the first one. And I was like, yo, this is so good. Like, it wasn't what I thought it was. So I started watching. I watched the first one. I said, the same day I watched the second one. I usually don't do that. I said, let me get into the second one. Watched the second one. A couple days later, came back, watched the third one. I was like, yo, this is so good. Like, Ip Man is incredible. And I can honestly say, out of all of these, I would say my favorite are the last two. All 4 of them is great. Don't get me wrong. All 4 of these are great. They're wonderful movies. But I'm just talking about for the action. I really enjoyed the third one and the fourth one. It has a really... I'm not going to say tragic ending, but it had an ending that was, and yo, listen, in 4, there was a fight scene between Bruce Lee and a couple of guys outside of a restaurant. When he was talking to Master Ip, they came in, caused a disturbance. Bruce Lee went outside, and the guy they got to play Bruce Lee looked just like a young Bruce Lee. The mannerisms, the sounds. It was so good. Yo, listen, let me tell y'all something, okay? First of all, if you can watch it for free on a streaming service and you're not a collector, but if you watch my videos, you're probably a collector. Grab this. Now, you can get this. Now, they did have, let me put this down again. They did have a 4K set for this particular set, and I slept on it. It was like $52, and I should have jumped on it. But I didn't know it was going to go out of print so quick. I saw it on Best Buy one day, and I said, all right, I'll get back to it. I said, I'll get back to it. When I went back to it, it was sold out. So I did a quick Google search. It was sold out everywhere. Now you can get them on eBay, but they're not $52. You can believe that. They're like 80 to 100. And then I actually bid on one. I got the bid up to $80, but somebody outbid me. So I said, well, that's a dream that's lost. So the whole time I was a little salty that I couldn't get the 4-movie collection in 4K. This one just came out about 2 weeks ago. This is a new release. The Blu-ray version is weird because the 4K version came out first. Now, of course, DVD came out years ago, but the 4K version came out before this version. Usually you get the Blu-ray release first, but this collection right here just came out about 2 weeks ago. I actually pre-ordered it and got it about 2 days early. I got this maybe a week and a half ago from Walmart. But if you never seen Ip Man, you need to go ahead and watch it. You can get this on, I know it's on Netflix all day. All 4 of them are on Netflix. So if you got a Netflix subscription, you don't have to buy it. But check out Ip Man. You will not be disappointed. Donnie Yen is the man. For those of you who don't know who Donnie Yen is, Donnie Yen was in Rogue. He had a lot of like minor roles in a lot of stuff, but you may not know who he is. He was in Rogue One. He was the blind Jedi in Rogue One. He also had a couple other roles, but of course, this is it right here. This is his claim to fame. On the American side, Donnie Yen is a big actor in his homeland, but on the American side, I think this is what put him on the stage here. Next up, we're going to take a look at the animated stuff. Oh, wow, this video is getting long. Okay, so I picked up Injustice. Now, again, if you're familiar with the game, the Injustice game, this does not go... It's similar. The plot is very similar, but it's very different from the events of the game. But it's still good. This is a really good, solid DC Universe movie. I love the DCU. The DC Animated Universe. Not the DCU, but the DC Animated Universe. I think they blow Marvel out when it comes to the animated movies. So here's how I look at it. DC for the animated movies. Marvel for the live action movies. However, DC has been getting better with their live action stuff. I mean, Aquaman, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, they have definitely been getting better. The Snyder Cut was banging. I didn't care too much for Justice League, but the Snyder Cut of Justice League was pretty decent. But again, this is Injustice. This was pretty good. It doesn't follow the game, the plot line of the game closely, but it's good. Dragon Ball Z, Super Broly. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, you know who Broly is. Broly is probably the first being to beat the brakes off of Goku. I mean, Goku get beat up all the time, but he always managed to come back. He couldn't come back against Broly. I mean, Broly was that dude. Mortal Kombat Masters, Legends, Battle of the Realms. Battle of the Realms. I did not see this one yet. The Mortal Kombat, I got the Scorpion one up there. That one was awesome. Very bloody, very violent. Just like Mortal Kombat should be. Pick this up on 4K. Got a good price on it. So if you into the, animated Mortal Kombat movies, this is probably going to be really, really good. I didn't check this one out. I'm going to be watching this one soon. And the last two. Now, let's check these out. Batman, The Long Halloween 1 and 2. I think they go like... Yeah, they go like this. Batman, The Long Halloween 1 and 2. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about Batman, The Long Halloween, the inspiration for Batman, Dark Knight Return, which one was it? No, The Dark Knight. So yeah, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight. The inspiration for The Dark Knight came from this movie right here, from these right here. You'll see a lot of little things that happen in this. They also happen in the J.J. Abrams Batman movie, Dark Knight. A lot of cues from this. Now, this was, of course, the comic book came before this and the Dark Knight movie. So you'll see a lot of Dark Knight in this. A lot of themes from that movie in here. These are excellent. They're very long. You're going to get your money's worth if you watch both of these. These are excellent. The Long Halloween 1 and 2 are excellent. So that's that. Let's go ahead and recap everything and see what we got. So we got Dragon Ball Z Super Broly. We got the Robocop Trilogy. We got The Bodyguard. Clint Eastwood, Absolute Power. Ford versus Ferrari. Eye of the Tiger, Dragnet, Pacific Heights, The Glass House, Cape Fear, Shocker, DC Cab, Batman and Long Halloween 1 and 2, Injustice, Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms, The Car, Escape Room, Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker, Ant-Man and Wasp, Total Recall, the original, not the reboot, F9, all 3 Iron Mans, Ip Man 4-movie collection, Parasite, 30 Days of Night, A Quiet Place Part 2, banger, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spiral. Ugh. So that's it. Wow, 36 minutes. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys for stopping by, watching this pickup video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys, get some ideas for some stuff you want to add to your collection. Again, a lot of this stuff was Best Buy, eBay, 1 or 2 Walmart titles, but a lot of this can be found on eBay, just about anywhere. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Next, I'm going to do a Batman collection. We'll show you all the stuff that I got. Everything Batman. I'm inspired because of the Long Halloween 1 and 2 to do all Batman. That's all the Batman animated, all the Batman movies. I got a lot of Batman stuff. We're going to do an update on CLZ movies because in my absence, I've been getting a lot of questions in the comment sections of the CLZ movie app videos that I did. Yeah, there's a pricing structure to it now that's different than it was when I picked up the software and first started doing videos on it. But I will answer those questions in one of the upcoming videos. I don't know if that's going to be the next video or the video after, but it's going to be coming shortly. We'll talk about the CLZ movie app and their subscription model that they do have now. And I'll discuss with you whether I think the subscription model for that software is worth it. It's worth it depending on who you are. And I'll leave it at that. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.